We are back with season 3 of Justice Speaks. Today I have Brianna Mcghee, co-founder of New Air, and also my cousin. Hi, Bri. How are you?
Hey, Leah girl. I'm doing good, weathering through this snow.
Right. Everybody's tired of the snow. I wanted to thank you for coming on today. Our topic will be black hair, which you and I both have much experience with.
Too much.
But before we start our conversation, I am going to ask you, how do you identify?
I identify as a Black woman.
As a Black woman. Cool. Me too. And also get the ball rolling, I am going to share a clip and it talks about some celebrity struggles they've had in the industry with their black hair.
Yes, it's a problem. Yes, it's a problem.
After this person did my hair, I cried.
It could be a challenge. I ain't gonna lie to you, I cried about it.
That's why I had short hair for so long. It was easy. But I think as people of color, yeah, and especially in the business, we haven't always had people that know how to manage our hair. First of all, this is a continuous fight that I have, even today. I'm having this conversation right now with my team. It's mind-blowing to me that Black actresses have to fight to have Black hairdressers on set for us.
I had this experience where I auditioned for a project and I did the whole thing. I styled it for the period, the whole nine, right? And so essentially I got to set and it was very clear that no one could do my hair. And so they just put a hat on me. And I only need to learn a lesson once.
I did a movie called Keanu, and nobody on that set could braid my hair. So then I had to go outside of the movie, find people in New Orleans to braid my hair. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I cried about it.
I hear this all the time, that actors will go to a movie set and the person, I can't tell you how many haircuts or styles I've had to fix, because they'll go on set and the person doesn't know how to do African American hair, and yet they're the only stylist there to do it.
We've all had a hair breakout because of the level of heat. The black hair doesn't behave like our hair is way more complicated. And when I'm a serious regular and they're bringing in, and I've been told I have a non-black hair person, the first question I say, can they do a press and curl? If you don't know what a press and curl is, you gotta start from scratch. But I would be a liar if I didn't say it hasn't been a problem. It has been and it's been tough going.
So with that, the first question, Brianna, are you surprised? Are you surprised
Not at all.
with your struggle?
No, not at all.
I'm not either. The most shocking part to me was what Halle Berry said when she said that's why she had her hair short. I just assumed that she loved short hair.
Short hair, right. That stuck out to me too.
Yeah, and she literally did it so that when she went on set, it wasn't a big deal, so that she did not have to deal with someone not knowing her hair and someone potentially damaging her hair.
I've been on sets and stuff when I was doing fitness modeling and had those opportunities out in LA, and it's a real thing. One of the first leading roles I had, it was an all-white crew, and I didn't know, that was my first time being a leading role. I didn't know what to expect, so I just came with my hair flat. I came with my hair flat. I didn't even do my makeup. I just kind of left it to them, and that was a mistake. But I call her Nola Darling. I don't know her real name, but the one that she said I only have to learn that lesson once, that was me. Because I came and my hair was flat and I looked a plum fool when it was time to shoot. And I did bring my makeup with me. Something just told me to bring my makeup with me, bring some stuff with me. I didn't have edge control or anything, but they put these braids in my hair and it was terrible. I was like working out too during the shoot, so I was sweating, but it was terrible. And like I didn't like my makeup or my hair, and it was just like I did what I could with the time I had to fix it, but it does affect you in front of the camera. You have a camera right in your face, but it's like they don't even consider it. So I mean, I understand completely. With them being movie stars, I can only imagine what their sets look like.
And I feel like it's also a level of privilege because when you go to beauty school, you don't even have to know how to do black hair to finish. Obviously not.
Yeah.
These people are working in Hollywood. These aren't, people, on a C movie. These are A-list stars, A-list celebrities.
Right.
And so when they went to hair school, black hair wasn't even considered because they would have done it. Or maybe they only had them do it one time. But the fact that, white actors don't even have to think about that. They know when they're on set, someone's going to be doing their makeup well, someone's going to be doing their hair well. But we go on there, and then, like you said, you're there to do a job. You're there to sell this product or sell the gear or to act, but then you're thrown off your game because you're like, man, I don't look as good as my co-stars.
Mm-hmm.
I look a step below them.
Right. I think just that alone is very telling of just what we go through with our hair, because it's a no-brainer. And I know for sure that they have to, in order to get on set, hairstylists. I have a friend who's a barber, and he was telling me the other day that you have to be licensed to be on set. So when a big movie calls or something like that, he missed out on money because he didn't have his license, but he's been cutting hair all his life. So just imagine how challenging African American hair is. That should be one of the checkoffs for everybody in beauty school, cosmetology school, is to be able to know how to tame different types of hair. Like, I don't know about white people, but Black people have different types of hair that we identify with, the different, I'm not even that deep into the textures, but the coils, there's different names for them. And they should know that coming out of cosmetology school.
And I'm curious as to, I guess we know why they haven't been required to, quote unquote, but it's just really amazing that it's like still a problem. Because when did you do your shoot? Like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago. Yep. So it's like, okay, you're only graduating knowing to do one type of hair. I honestly think that should not fly. And those who are in cosmetology school now, take initiative and learn. If you have some Black friends, if there's some Black people in your class, suggest it to your teacher. Like, be the person who's trying to be a difference. Like, if there's folks out there trying to be allies, talk to your director at your hair school. Like, hey, we need to learn Black hair in here as well. Because I mean, we spend our life in the hair shop. Black hair, that's fun. So if you know how to do Black hair, you're gonna have yourself a customer for life. They're gonna be in your chair every 2 weeks.
That's what I was about to say. But the other thing, I don't know if you thought this far, but they don't know how to do Black hair, but they're still getting jobs on Black sets. Do you know how hard it is to get a job?
Wow.
And so even though they don't know how to do their hair, that's not even, hey, we have Black cast members. Do you know how to tame African American hair? But they're still getting the jobs. If you think about how many actual Black cosmetologists are out there who would love these opportunities, they are still getting the jobs. I met this one cosmetologist, I used to drive Lyft and Uber in LA, and she was white, but she had just left the set of City Girls. And I'm like, how the hell did she get on the set of City Girls? You know what I mean? But she went through an agency, or her hair school that she was at, they cast people out of that hair school. So it's not even a requirement of, do you know how to do their hair? It's they just get the job and they go get paid. They get paid a check to be there all day, to touch up, to do all that stuff. But 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you, city girls have their own people ready on deck. Someone of that status as a celebrity, they're gonna, at this point in the game, if you've been in it for a while, you're gonna start either doing your own hair or demanding that we're able to bring our own people regardless of who you bring to set. That's what I gotta believe at this point. Because I mean, everybody knows that's in the industry, they know it. And like, I mean, me even just doing fitness modeling, I knew to do my hair before I came to set, or have my stuff ready to do my hair. And even when I knew what the shoot was about, I would plan what hairstyle I would do just in case somebody couldn't do my hair. And it always came down to them going with my hairstyle. And I was doing my own hair on set, on Nike sets. Yeah.
Wow. And it's like that, you would think that they would have all the connections, they would do this, but it's like
they do
that basic principle they're not considering, like, oh, you know, if that's who's on the set, that's probably who you should have, unless the person you screened, you know, you've asked them. But if that's not the question, it's going to go undetected, and you're going to have people feeling lesser than, even though they're at the same caliber as the other folks.
Yeah. And so they have to outsource and bring their own people in, like Tiffany Haddish said, which is more costly probably, and
last minute probably panicking.
Yeah, because sometimes what it is like, sometimes they have a production. So say you had your own production company and you were doing a photo shoot or a short film or whatever. You get to build your own team. You get the budget. So they'll give you the budget and say, this is the budget of the film. They give you the budget and you build your own team. So they're going to pick out of their network of people. And if they hire, say if you're a production and then you just want to hire an agency to do your hiring, or, you know, 9 times out of 10, it works like, oh, I got this job through this person who connected me. Or I connected with him at the last shoot I was at, and he threw me this opportunity. It's most of the time it's like that, but whoever is running that set, the director or the producer, whatever production company it is, they're most likely building their own crew. I've seen it like that on set too. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, little insight for you there.
Yeah. And another question for you. So, growing up, did you have a positive or negative experience with your hair?
I would say on the negative side, my experience with negativity was when we didn't really know how to properly care for my hair, which I feel like all Black people go through, or Black girls go through. I was getting perms, like grown woman perms, because our texture used to be so tight. But that was our natural state. Our hair was super curly, but my mom just didn't know how to care for that type of hair. So in order to break our curls down, you remember we used to wear those big puffs on the top of our head?
Yeah.
In order to break that down, and it wasn't like it was just a ball of nothing, it was literally tight curls. But in order to break that down, my mom started perming our hair. And my scalp reacted bad to it. I don't know if you remember, but my hair started falling out. I was bald on the scalp for a while. So then after that, we kind of learned how to take care of my hair. I started doing my own hair. And from there, it's honestly been positive. I haven't had too many negative experiences with my hair, as far as like, I know we'll get deeper into the conversation, but for the most part, it's been positive because I've always been connected to my hair. That makes sense.
For me, it was a little bit different. You know, when we first came from Seattle, my hair was really long and it never had been permed or anything. But when I came here, we permed my hair. For me, you know, I liked my hair being straight. It did not grow like it did, you know, before I had the perm. But for me, I felt like the societal pressure, though, like I thought natural hair was pretty, I never thought that it wasn't pretty on myself. Like it made me feel self-conscious, like, you know, being straight like is the way. And as you know, like Black women, like sometimes to be in the industry, like there's that pressure to like have your hair be like a more European style. So for me, I just had my hair straight and I really didn't think a lot about it. So getting older, in like the last 3 years, last 2 years, I started wearing my hair naturally. And a lot of the encouragement came from my husband, because he likes natural hair, and he's like, you know, you should just try it. And one day I did, and I haven't turned back since. I don't think I stopped perming my hair probably 3 or 4 years ago. Got off the creamy crack, as they like to call it. And I've not regretted it. My hair has grown so much. My curl pattern is back, as you know, like when you get a relaxer, your hair, like the new growth has the curls, like when you stop perming it, but then like your ends are stringy. So I went through like that awkward phase for like a year or two, but now my curl pattern is back. Yeah, and I still, you know, with my mom, she likes wearing her hair straight, and you know, I think anyone can wear their hair how they want to. They should have the choice. But definitely people need to be open with the type of hair that's out there, or like this type, like the protective styles, the braid styles. I'm just now like allowing myself to like experiment in that and be like, okay, it's okay if I have like hair in my hair, that's fine. I remember in high school a girl was like, you know, is that your real hair? Because Black girls don't always have long hair. And like comments like that I heard in high school, that just like helped like hurt my self-esteem, and be like, well, I gotta prove that this hair is mine. I can't put any hair in my hair because everyone thinks that Black girls don't have long hair. So feeling that weight on my shoulders, I think that was like the voice in my head, and why it took me so long to get to the natural hair game. That was like something I had to go through. But I mean, folks don't realize like shrinkage, like my hair's not this short, my hair's like to the middle of my back, but because it's curly, just like if you have a slinky, the length of the slinky is not the whole length, it's curly. So if you unraveled the slinky, you'd know how long it is. And that's kind of what shrinkage is.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great description for shrinkage.
Yeah.
The slinky. It's crazy because we all have, it's literally the same story. Like you were natural, your hair was at your best, and then we ruined it with thinking, in order to get this girl's hair straight, I have to perm it. That's what our parents thought. You know, your mom, she still perm her hair?
Yeah, she does.
She still perms her hair. And so, I mean, she's been doing this for so long, that's what she's used to. But we all, it's crazy how we do it. We're natural, we end up getting a perm, and then we return to our natural state once we start maturing. Like I remember the last time I got a perm, I think it was like my freshman year in high school. And I don't even know what made us like decide on that. I just remember being like, no, I don't get perms anymore. And I was like adamant about it. I was like, I just feel like I don't need it. I think when my hair started falling out, and then I didn't start getting perms again until maybe like 7th grade. At that point, I was already scared of them and like what associated with it. So I kind of just didn't want to do it, because we easing it back into my hair. And then I think I just remember like not wanting to do it anymore. And at that time we had stopped going to like the hair shop and stuff, because we were doing our own hair. Yeah. So
yeah. I feel it now. I mean, the hair shop, that's a money sucker, dude. Do it at least natural. Excuse me, you keep a couple dollars in your pocket. By going natural for real. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay on the natural side.
I mean, it's the same. Even if you're taking care of your natural hair, products are expensive. It can get expensive. It's the same as paying someone to damage your hair too. So you just gotta pick and choose whatever works best for you. Because some people don't know how to tame their hair at all.
And
but you're learning.
Time. It takes time. You learn how your hair is going to react. Everyone, when they go natural, the journey is not going to look the same. Like you said, you should spend money on good quality products, like for your hair. It's just not like the continual, like, $50 every 2 weeks for your hair to be straightened or whatever. But definitely, if you're thinking about going natural, invest in the good stuff. Your hair will thank you. Watch YouTube videos, find your hair type, and
rather earlier than later.
No, seriously. And talking about hair type, what do you think about the phrase good hair? What is that?
Just recently it started to bother me more hearing it, because it's like, and maybe it's just like with maturity and like just realizing everything as a whole. But now that I'm like super into the hair and like, we have a hairline and all that stuff, that it kind of makes me cringe. Like I think the other day when my little sisters, she said something about, it was something about somebody's texture of hair. And she said something like, you know, she either said something about black girls and, you know, you got that black people hair or something like that. And it just stood out to me. I was just like, wow, like it's such an ignorant comment, but we've been conditioned to view hair and think like that for so long, it literally just comes out. The way I feel about it, the term good hair, I I don't know if I can actually put a stamp on exactly how I feel about it, because I think people just don't realize that everybody has their own texture of hair. Yeah. There's not a bad texture of hair. It's just that is your texture of hair. People typically say, I have good hair. You got that good hair. You got that silky hair. Well, come see me when I let it air dry, and then let's talk about what you think then. Because it literally looks different. Our hair literally has phases. Like, you can wash it and it looks curly, but if you sit there, like, I have to blow dry my hair depending on what I'm doing to it. If I sit there and let the air dry, it could be a different story.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden I got bad hair.
Right.
So it's like, it depends on bad hair. It depends on, your texture of hair, and it kind of tells like your hair story, like your heritage, depending on the texture. And you can associate your texture with your heritage too, and why the texture is the way it is and things like that. So I don't really necessarily like the term good hair. Easy hair maybe better, but good hair, I don't know if I like that term anymore.
And I'm totally like on your side with that. I mean, growing up, everyone used to say, "Oh, you have good hair. You have good hair, like your dad. Like, you have good hair." And I agree with you. In the last few years, that has really made me cringe. Sometimes I don't think we realize the power of words. When people are saying you have good hair and bad hair, it makes people want to perm their hair. It makes them feel like that their hair is not acceptable. And honestly, good hair is like being close to white hair, if we're going to be honest. Like, that's what that's saying, like that phrase. Yeah. So I think it's really something we need to do away with. Everyone has good hair. People have different textures. And if you're using the wrong technique for a texture, then it's not gonna be easier to work with. It's gonna not gel when you're trying to work with it. But if you understand the texture of your hair, or the person who's doing your hair understands the texture of your hair, then everybody can have good hair. Like, I think good hair is healthy hair. Good hair is healthy hair.
Right. It's healthy hair. Yeah. Period. I think that's it exactly. Like, if going along with what you said, if you know your hair, like, I've watched different people's hair transform. Like, my little sister, her hair has transformed. We used to say, your hair just won't grow, but she never took care of it. So the problem is, people don't know how to take care of their hair. Even the person with the kinkiest hair can transform their hair. You have to know how to take care of your texture, and then you'll be considered, you could say you have good hair or whatever, but that term kind of puts this divide in between things, because then it's like, what if you don't have good hair, then what am I categorized as? Usually black girls don't have good hair or good whatever, and it's like, so what does that mean? What does that mean? They
don't
got good hair,
because they're gonna stumble.
Huh?
I said, if you stop someone and ask them what they mean by that, they may stumble for a little bit.
They gonna stumble, yeah. Like, let's really talk about it.
So some of these questions we need to start saying, "Oh, what do you mean by that?" And then like watch someone like stumble.
No, for real, they'll stumble and not even know what to say. Like, I guess that is a ignorant comment.
Yeah. I mean, in high school, my friend was like, "You're the whitest black girl I know," and he thought that was a compliment. And my friend, one of my really good friends who's white, Allison, she was like, "She does not like that." And he was like, "Why?" And I explained it to him. I was like, "That's saying that like all black people act the same, and if they talk one way, then they're white, and that erases their blackness." And he was like, "Oh, okay." Like, he didn't even think about it. He was like, saying something. So it's like, you gotta let people see, like, what are you saying when you say this phrase? So
Right.
you can you can mess some folks up. Like I had some, rough days going to pretty dominant white high school, and I was like with my hair
I
as
can
far as
imagine.
that concerned, and then just comments and like people not really realizing what they're saying. So just taking a beat and being like, okay, what am I saying with my words? How can that affect somebody
Right.
and how they think about themselves?
Right.
For sure. And as a Black beauty brand, what are the things you try to do to educate with your brand, or what do you want people to know? So what do you do that's a little bit different? I've been watching your social media, and you guys kind of throw some facts out there and things that sometimes.
I guess like our biggest thing is it kind of comes through our realization too of just how much our hair actually means to us and how much we all actually identify with our hair. And I think what we just want people to know is like hair is it's one of the main things in your life. Like we go through life just like with everything else, but you don't stop to think about just how much your hair actually means to you. And like on the journey that we are on with Noair in building our business, we realized that, which pushed us to do this in the first place, is that we love hair. We are always doing hair. Somebody's always getting their hair done. I'm always doing my hair. Like anybody around me is like, you're always doing something to your hair. But I didn't realize how much I enjoyed it, Leia. I didn't realize just how much joy it actually brought me doing, how exciting it was to me. Like I literally get excited, and like at first I didn't know what it meant, and didn't even realize just how often I'm doing something associated with hair, and like it's one of the focal points of whatever I'm doing, whether I'm going to an event, whether I'm getting ready for a date, whether I'm about to take pictures. It all comes back to my hair. How am I going to do my hair? I have to tame my hair. So I think what the biggest thing with Noair and what we want to like bring awareness to is just how much our hair actually means to us as black women and Black girls, and just shine light on things around it, like the stereotypes around it, the history around it, because we didn't even know how deep braids run, like or protective styles. Period. Just it goes way back to our ancestors. It goes way back to slavery and what they went through, and how even Noair came about is because of the way that they did their hair. It told a story of their struggle, and it helped them back then to communicate and identify within their culture and within what they had in front of them back then, way back then. And so we don't even realize, whoa, all this is possible because of what they were doing. And then even with the history of our ancestors, just their transition from slaves into coming in, being free, and their experience now in America. Now they're in the city, and now they're being stripped. They were stripped of their identities, and now they have to change their hair to fit the standards of this new realm that they're in, this new world that they're in. So they come to the city and they see the standard of beauty, and now they're changing their hair. So it's like, there's everything goes back, everything has history, and even our hair has history, and how, we the term good hair, and hairstyles in the workplace, and all the things that the ignorance of our hair is goes back into what they were saying on the video we watched. It all tells a story, and that's where that hair discrimination started way back then. So I don't know, we just want to tackle all angles of hair and just shine light on just like, we all love our hair as much as we don't even realize how much we all love our hair. And that's what we want people to realize, is just how much of a confidence booster, and it's a crown. Like our hair is literally our crowns. We put that in our mission statement for the business. Your hair is your crown, and with our hair, we want people to ignite that confidence. So that's really what it is. And through the journey of Noair, just showing exactly what we mean by that. So
yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like the different like colors, and then the lengths, and then the braiding, like showing people just kind of celebrating and excited about their hairstyles. And we've seen like a lot of protective styles with the braiding. and I've gotten some styles myself, and I love them. It gives you this boost of confidence. I always say when I get my braids, I'm on a haircation, because you got in the braids, you just cover them up at night, you wake up, you're ready to tackle the day.
You're ready to go. I can't wait till you get some box braids.
I need to try those next, seriously.
You should try them. We'll do them.
I've been working my way up. I'm like, okay, I got my 2 braids. I saw the style that you did with, Nisha did it with Jennifer. And I was like, okay, that looks really cute. I really liked them, and it's cool to see you guys like also improving and doing different styles. Like you guys are both getting so good at braiding and just meeting people's expectations, like people are exceeding their expectations with the jobs that you do. And even I see sometimes you'll get Shekinah in there doing something and just kind of showing how fun it can be to do something different with your hair.
And it is. I mean, people are so excited when they're trying a new style, or like I did hair yesterday. She's like, I don't know what color I want, just do something. And so I threw this mix of color together, and she was super happy. So it's just the whole process that I don't think we all just don't even realize how much we enjoy it.
Yeah. And we kind of talked about this already, but today, what is your relationship with your hair?
I would say, I feel like I know my hair better than ever now. You know, like I know what works for my hair now. I'm having so much fun just trying a bunch of different things. Since we started the business, like Nisha showed me some techniques with braiding, and I've just been working at it ever since. So now I'm braiding my own hair, which is taking my relationship with my hair to another level, because at first I was never doing that, you know? So I don't know, I feel like I have a very, very good relationship with my hair. I know it in and out, and I know what styles I want, and I'm trying to look for a signature look now. So that's where I'm at. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with my hair right now. So
I totally understand what you mean, like being closer, because I was literally a person who like never ever did my hair at all, like never even touched it. And so now that I'm like washing it and just like knowing your hair more, it's just like, it's a really like, I don't know, it's like an achieving feeling. You're like, oh man, like this is so cool. Like I can do a little something with my hair. Like I would just be so lost usually. You know, I just wouldn't know anything, how to do anything. And I'm still learning. I'm definitely someone who's still like, even at 27, like someone who's still learning their hair, but you probably keep learning your hair for forever. But I've never had a better relationship with my hair, like you said. And I've never had so much fun, and I'm just breaking outside the box, not caring about what people say about my hair, or what they may be thinking. They're probably not even thinking anything, honestly. It's all in my own, for some situations, for most situations. So I'm totally there with you, where I'm just enjoying getting to know my hair and just being excited and just trying new things and learning. I'm just so happy at the length, because my hair has not been this long in years. So I'm just super pumped. So.
And it's awesome just taking care of it.
Yeah, it is. It
is. That's crazy. I have a question for you before we get to the end. So we're in like 2 different industries. So for me, I know a leading factor into me even wanting to start this business was I didn't like feeling the pressure of fitting myself into a box when it comes to the corporate world, right? So once I retired from track and I figured out what's next for me, I was taking all these things into account, the pros and cons and all these things. What did I want to do? And that was a thing for me. Even the times where I did work in the corporate world, just the conscious feeling, most of the time I didn't care, but the conscious feeling, I know I've taken interviews and not put braids in my hair because I wanted to look more professional. So after I get the job, then I'll put braids back in my hair. And that is a common story, literally. Every woman I know has the same story, to where sometimes, I have this interview. So they tune down, they practically, I call it putting on a mask to get a job all because of what they thought that the company would think of their hair. So you as a CEO, you're in a different industry to where you're working closely with all different types of industries that you're trying to tap into. Are you still dealing with like, oh, should I wear this hairstyle or not to meet with this person or that person, um or what's your take on that
And
as
that's
a leader
really,
of your company in having to lead meetings
yeah,
inside of other companies and all that? There's a lot that you have to deal with. For me,
right.
it's like I'm coming as I am. This is what I do. So that's the industry I'm in. But for you, I know it's different. So how are you dealing with that?
So that's a really good question. So when I wear my hair like this, I really don't think, anything of it. I'm really not conscious. But when I got Misha, your co-founder and sister of Noir, she did braids and it had a little color in it. And I forgot. But when I was meeting with a firm, I was very subconscious. I was like, oh my goodness, are they gonna think I'm not professional? Even though it's
Right.
braids and braids are professional, there's nothing unprofessional about it. But
Yeah.
I was in the back of my head, I was like freaking out. But then they loved me. That's the crazy thing. They're like excited. They're like, oh, we're so excited to work with you. We hope we get this proposal. We're ready. We're ready to go. So they weren't even thinking about it. But still, I mean, someone could have mentioned it. I don't know. Online. But as far as how they treated me, I mean, I was having that battle in my own head, but they were just worried about what are we doing. So I definitely, I don't go out the way to not, like, oh, I'm not gonna put in braids because I have this meeting, or I don't do that. But it's definitely still something that plays in my mind because it's like, oh, okay, are they people who are understanding, or do they know about Black hair? Do they understand that braids are also professional? So it's still a struggle I go through, but I haven't had yet. I haven't had any encounters with people who were negative towards the style that I wore that day, and I hope that I won't encounter it. But stay tuned.
Right. Yeah, it's a real thing. But think about that for a second, just how the mind play that comes with that, for you to even fret going into a meeting solely because of your hairstyle.
Right.
And we are two strong women, but think about what that's actually doing to women we each have our own businesses, but women who are deep into the corporate place that doesn't have a culture of, come wear wherever you want. Different hairstyles are welcome. Just think about what that's doing. That's a whole nother conversation in itself. For real.
And
That's
I
a whole nother
agree.
conversation.
I feel like you kind of like feel repressed, like if that's something that you want to do and you won't feel happy. And corporate, like you said, it's a whole nother conversation, but corporate environment, they should consider like making sure people know that's welcome, so that they have employees who are those long timers and that are happy where they work because they feel like they can be themselves completely. And you may say it's just hair, but it's an identifier. It's something that brings us joy. It's something that you always get in order when you're getting ready for something. So it really is important.
Our confidence is attached to it.
Yeah, it really is. And it really is important.
Literally.
It's accepted and that people understand. Different doesn't mean bad. It just means different. And it's okay to learn about what makes us different.
Right.
So yeah. Well, Brianna, I want to thank you for your time. This is a great conversation.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and if you are interested in what Brianna and Janisha do, you can follow Noir on Facebook at Shopxnoire and also on Instagram. So if you want to support Black and local, they're selling hair and they're taking appointments. So thank you, Brianna.
Yes, we are. All right. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.